Okay, this is question 21 from the trial stats paper. This is a sampling question. So this is probably going to have more worded things in it rather than the straight out calculations. So the first question is, the business is concerned about stress levels and it's got 500 employees. They want to look at a well-being program. They have 315 males and 185 females. The average age of the people here is 30 years old. So one day the management randomly selects 20 people to survey from those from having lunch in the staff room, and says discuss any potential bias. So let's have a look at what kind of things might be biased with this kind of thing. One, there's definitely a gender balance issue because you don't know whether you're going to have males or females there or what the deal is. Okay, not everyone would be in the lunchroom at that time. You might have some people going off for lunch. There may be staff that are sick and hence they're not there, so they haven't got an equal chance of being represented in the survey. And there may actually be different lunch times for different people. The big thing is this one here, that not all groups are represented by that random survey. Not everyone has an equal chance of being selected, so therefore it has bias in it. So you might want to, just as long as you mention the word bias somewhere, that is good. Okay, remembering that definition of a sample is random if everyone has an equal chance of being selected. Now it says discuss the sample size and how reliable the sample mean will be in representing the population mean. Now they've only got 20 people there, so they've only taken 20 people into their survey. So we're going to work out if that's big enough. Now there's a couple of ways you can work out the sample size. Probably the best one is square root of n, add 10% of n. So n being the size of the population, and then 10% of just meaning times. So our population is 500 plus 10% times by 500 gives you 22.3, add 50 equals 72.3. So we would be looking at having a sample of 73 people, which we think would be fairly representative of that population. Now that still may be a bit small, but otherwise we don't get the quite results. Now, how reliable will the sample mean be in representing the population mean? The sample's not big enough, so it will not be representative of the whole population. So you need to choose more people so that your sample mean reflects the population mean. Okay, your sample mean should reflect the population mean. Okay, which means that your sample's got to be big enough, and that's where that square root of n plus 10% of n is just a rough guide. The management then decides, okay, we're going to go for 50 people. How many women would you need to be in the sample? So we have 185 women, and there's 500 people overall in the staff. The sample is going to be a size of 50, and that will give us a number of 18.5 females, which then you have to round up to 19 females. Okay, and this is called a stratified stratified sample. Okay, so that's stratified sampling, and that's kind of like the kind of thing that you'll get in a sampling question. You'll still probably need to know your definitions of random, maybe quota sampling and cluster sampling and things like that, just so that you can show that you know what's going on.